Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're taking a really fascinating look into one of ACG's actual daily SOC alerts.
That's right, real world stuff.
Exactly. The specific alert we're digging into today is called data exfiltration via third-party SaaS application.
Sounds serious.
It was. This wasn't, some theoretical exercise.
Yeah.
It involved a productivity assistant app that, well, it turned out to be the opposite of helpful.
Ah, one of those.
Yeah. So our mission here is to sort of unpack how this all went down, what triggered the alert, how it was detected, and really what it tells us about securing our cloud environments.
Because these environments are just getting bigger and more complex.
Absolutely. And this was a high severity incident. We're talking thousands of files involved.
Yeah.
And it all happened fast. Okay, let's get into it.
Right.
So the first sign something was wrong, the detection, it was pretty stark. Picture this. A company authorizes a new third-party app, this productivity assistant.
Seems innocent enough.
Right. But then it immediately starts hammering their SharePoint and OneDrive, accessing thousands and thousands of files.
Just reading them or more?
Initially reading, but at this absolutely anomalous rate, way faster than any person or even any normal app function. It just screamed, problem.
And that's where the tech steps in, I assume.
Exactly.
What's really interesting here, maybe a bit chilling too, is how quickly the security systems caught it. It wasn't just one system either.
Oh, true.
It was a double tap, basically. Alerts fired from both their SSPM, that's the SaaS Security Posture Management Tool,
Okay.
and Microsoft Sentinel. So two different systems saying, whoa, hold on.
And when did this happen? Pretty quick.
Yeah, the first alert hit at 10:45 a.m. Eastern Time. And it wasn't a minor flag either. It was rated high severity, like 9.0 out of 10.
Wow. Okay, so the systems knew immediately this wasn't normal behavior.
Fundamentally wrong, yeah.
So what was the trigger? You mentioned the speed, but was there more to it?
Well, think about the timing. This app gets authorized. Maybe someone clicks allow, thinking it'll sync their calendar or something.
Mm-hmm. The usual productivity promises.
Exactly. But within the first hour, literally the first 60 minutes, this OAuth application starts reading thousands of files.
That's not syncing a calendar.
Not even close. It's just completely out of line with its stated purpose or any kind of normal user activity. Like you said, it's like letting someone in for coffee and they start checking all your drawers.
Okay, so the behavior was the trigger.
Yeah.
How did they know why it could do that?
Okay, that's the critical piece. The SSPM tool didn't just flag the activity, it flagged the permissions the app had requested in the first place.
What permissions?
It called them overprivileged. Specifically, this app had asked for and received files read-write.all.
Read-write all.
All files, company-wide potentially. And this really makes you wonder, doesn't it? How often do we, just click accept on those permission screens?
Guilty. You just want the app to work.
We all do it. But these employees, they're probably just thinking enhanced productivity, right? Clicked OK, and boom, they unknowingly gave this app the keys to read, write, and maybe even delete everything.
That is terrifying. The potential damage.
Huge. So once they saw that combination, the excessive permissions and the immediate aggressive file access, the conclusion was pretty clear.
What was the verdict? Malicious from the start.
Either it was compromised after installation, which is possible, or maybe more likely it was designed this way from the beginning. A Trojan horse, basically, built to get inside and steal data from corporate clouds.
Just no innocent explanation fits that pattern.
None at all.
So faced with that, what do? Panic.
Well, hopefully not panic, but definitely fast action. The absolute first step was containment. Cut off the access.
Oh.
They went straight into Azure AD Enterprise Applications, that's like the central control panel for apps in the Microsoft world, and just revoked the app's oath grant for everyone, instantly.
Okay, slam the door shut, then what?
Yeah.
Damage assessment.
Precisely. The next really critical job was figuring out exactly what files it touched. What was the scope of the breach, what data was potentially exposed. You have to know what you're dealing with.
Yeah, makes sense. You stop the bleeding, then you see how bad the wound is.
Exactly. And this whole thing, it really highlights that tension we always talk about.
Productivity versus security.
Right. Everyone wants tools to make work easier, faster, but those tools can be the way in for attackers if we're not careful.
So beyond just revoking this one app, what did they do to prevent it from happening again? Any policy changes?
Yes, and this is key. They put in a new policy. From now on, if an employee wants to authorize a third-party app that asks for broad permissions, like read all files or write all files.
Like the one this app asked for.
Exactly. It now requires administrator approval first. It can't just be any employee clicking yes to an unvetted app asking for the keys to the kingdom.
So adding a layer of review, moving the decision up the chain.
Yep. Taking it from a potentially rushed individual click to a more centralized security-conscious check.
Okay, so let's bring this back to the listener. What does this specific real-world alert mean for you?
Well, I think the big takeaway is just how critical it is to actually look at the permissions apps ask for, even maybe especially the ones that seem harmless or promise productivity boosts.
Don't just trust the shiny icon or the promise.
Right. This incident shows how easily that trust can be exploited. A seemingly helpful tool becomes a weapon, all because of permissions granted without much thought.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? Consider how many apps you've authorized over the years, personally, professionally. What level of access have you actually granted? Do you even remember? What digital keys have you handed out?
It's a good question to ask yourself. Maybe take a look at the apps connected to your accounts. Can you be more aware, more critical about the access you grant? It's definitely something to reflect on, look past the interface, understand the power you're giving away.